Welcome to the Invisible Consultants video short on PESTLE analysis. In this video, we'll walk you through why you should conduct PESTLE analysis, what PESTLE stands for, and some great examples against each of the elements. So why bother with PESTLE analysis? PESTLE analysis is traditionally used in marketing or strategic management to assess the external landscape. By doing so, it aids an organisation to stay ahead of the game and foresee headwinds, those negatives impacting on an organisation. The same is also true of tailwinds, those being the positives. If you are using PESTLE analysis in a project environment, this is essentially no different. The project is scanning the external landscape to be able to proactively respond. As mentioned, PESTLE is particularly useful for assessing the external environment as it covers factors outside of an organisation or a project. If these factors are significant enough, then the project or organisation must react. Before we get into the detail of each element, let's first understand what PESTLE stands for. P is for political, E is for economic, S is for social, T for technological, L for legislative, and E environmental. So when working through your PESTLE analysis, consider the question, how can each of these different elements have an impact on my organisation or project? The political element of PESTLE is concerned with decisions which are taken by governments. And of course, decisions of a government can be more widely felt than just a host organisation. The political aspect is interesting as some of these factors may be certain, i.e. they have happened, or they may be uncertain, and businesses often respond negatively to uncertain environments. Let's take a look at each of the areas which might make up the political sphere. First up, competition policy, i.e. monopolies or impact on mergers and acquisitions. Industry regulation, those organisations assigned to control standards like Ofcom, Ofwat and Ofgem in the UK, who regulate the telecommunications, water and gas and electricity industries. Government spending and taxes. Sometimes these can present opportunities to organisations such as growth zones or incentives. Other times they can have a negative impact, such as the increase in sales tax. Business policy and incentives. Think of solar panels or grants or the Green Bank as examples. Wars and conflicts. These could have the ability on where or how businesses are conducted. And government change. The changing of the guard or even an upcoming election can stall or change direction. Next up is economic, and as with many areas in PESTLE, there is overlap. The economic element refers to the financial position for which your project or organisation is orientating within. Now let's consider some of the areas which could make up the economic element. We've got interest rates. These have a significant impact on an organisation's ability to access credit or the price of that credit. Got consumer spending or confidence. This will impact financial cash flow differently for organisations. We've got foreign exchange. Depending on where your project or organisation is operating, the direct costs or supply chain may be impacted by foreign exchange rates. And loosely tied to this, of course, is local and international trade. The business cycle. So consider the economic cycle of your organisation. Financial restrictions. So tough economic times could place financial restrictions on your organisation. And seasonality. This has the impact to affect output or information. The social element of PESTLE relates to attitudes, beliefs and cultural issues impacting society. The following are a set of areas to consider when reviewing the social landscape for your organisation. Demographic change. I.e. an ageing population changes the demand or creates new demand for a set of products or services. An ageing population also has an impact on government finances. Pressure groups. These can yield significant power on governments and organisations' actions. Changing lifestyles. Just consider our attitudes towards eating, drinking and travel and how they've changed over the years. Media views. Including social media, the media have the ability to use their voice to significantly affect an organisation. When considering the technological element of PESTLE, The most obvious advance of recent times is the introduction of the internet. There are numerous activities which we do today online with our phones that were unthinkable just a decade or so ago. Now let's have a look at what some of the areas are for technological. Got disruptive tech, so consider the Internet of Things or perhaps blockchain more recently. We've got mobile technology, where examples include organisations such as Uber or one of the financial app-based banks. Got new production methods, so consider robotics, not just for the manufacturing sector as traditionally used, but now they're also wholesale within the services industry. We've got big data, the sheer volume increase of data that technology has brought about, and much of it is unstructured, but we now also have the ability to mine that data through technology and drive customer insight. And we've got research and innovation, the advancements made in this field enabling new possibilities. The legislative element of PESTLE relates to changes within the law. This is strongly linked to the political element and also the economic element. The following are a set of areas to consider when reviewing the legislative landscape for your PESTLE analysis. So employment law, i.e. the national minimum wage, workers' rights or working time directives. Health and safety, the compliance and adherence to the rules. Environmental legislation, so think of all the changing requirements and new standards that are being enforced. We've got commercial and copyrights and patents, and things that are specific to individual industries such as the tobacco industry, whereby advertising is now banned in certain parts of the world. And data privacy, this is a hot topic at the moment. Anti-snooping, the right to be forgotten, are all areas that would be included here. The environmental element of PESTLE relates to ecological and environmental issues. These will have an impact on either how the organisation operates, the production or transportation methods, or the demand for the products or services. The following are a set of areas to consider when reviewing the environmental landscape for your PESTLE analysis. First up, sustainability. With limited resources, sustainability is a core focus and spreads from commodities such as oil and into fish stocks. Ethical sourcing, the need to consider where and how products are being sourced. Consider the fair trade movement or some of the scandals in the media about working conditions. Pollution and carbon footprint, and this stretches beyond organisational footprints and environmental conscious citizens who look to reduce their own carbon footprint. And then climate change or adverse weather. This is not just considerations to limit the impact of climate change, but also considers the impact of adverse weather on crop yields and consumer spending. To find out more about how the Invisible Consultant can help you in your business improvement activities, log on to invisibleconsultant.co.uk, where you'll find a range of articles, infographics, templates and calculators covering project management, Lean and Six Sigma improvement methodologies. And if you like this video short on PESTLE analysis, why not try one of our training courses? Until next time.